Hello, my distinguished audience. Special greetings to you. I am Ambassador Festus O. Odeyale, the exponent of strategic parenting ideology and founder of the Strategic Parenting Organization. I'm also into public speaking, training, and consultancy on strategic parenting. Parenting is a subject that holds the future of our world in its hands. Well, not just any parenting, but strategic parenting, which is the intentional, purpose-driven, and visionary kind of parenting that doesn't leave the raising of children to chance. Really, it's a privilege to speak with you today on the topic titled Strategic Parenting, Raising the Future with Purpose and Power. As we look around at our societies, which is brimming with opportunity, but riddled with confusion, there's need to ask ourselves, are we raising children who can think? Are we raising children who can lead? Are we raising children who empathize, children who are willing to serve and also to build? Are we raising individuals who can navigate complexity of life with character? Well, the answer to those questions actually begins at home. And that is why today I'll invite you to embark on this compelling journey with me through the meaning, importance, benefits, and transformative impact of strategic parenting. Not only for the individual child, but for the family, for the community, for the nation, and ultimately the entire world. Well, for better understanding, I'll divide this lecture into 7 or 8 sections, which include 1. The meaning of strategic parenting. 2. The importance of strategic parenting. 3. The benefits of strategic parenting. 4. The impact of strategic parenting. 5. The actionables of strategic parenting. 6. The challenges. 7. The inclusion. And 8. The conclusion. Well, if you are ready, I am ready. So let's begin now. Section 1. The meaning. What is strategic parenting? I describe strategic parenting as the art and science of raising children intentionally. That is, science and art come together, a fusion of both. And science has to do with things like analytics, diagnostics, where you try to figure out through inquiry, where you analyzed, where you experiment, and the likes. And you do all this with no purpose. You anchor it on purpose, and you are intentional about it. So, and all this you do with long-term goals. You anchor it on long-term goals, on long-term values and outcomes. All this set in your mind. It does mean that parenting is not just for today's comfort, but actually for tomorrow's character. You know what? It's unfortunate today that the trending thing is that we raise children today for comfort instead of character. We look at today, but never tomorrow. So we raise children for today's comfort, but not for tomorrow's character. However, strategic parenting is emphasizing that tomorrow's character is very important compared to today's comfort. To raise children for tomorrow's character, there are requirements. Some things are involved. And what are these? Number 1, what you need is clarity of purpose. If you're going to raise for tomorrow's character, you should be able to define your purpose of raising, nurturing a child. You should know what kind of adult you want to raise. And based on the outcome of this, you'll be able to set up a system, a set of processes that will achieve that for you. 2, another need or requirement is you need intentional choices. There are choices to make, but in your choice making, in your decision making, you need to be intentional, not lip talk. Intentional, get down, roll up your sleeves, and what? Get to action. So, and this covers every aspect of parenting, from discipline to daily routines to traditions to customs, beliefs, values, and the likes. So, 3, you must be futuristic. If you are going to raise children for tomorrow's character, not today's comfort, you need to be futuristic. You're thinking, you think about the future all the time, which means you need to anticipate challenges children would face, and then you prepare them with resilience and wisdom to navigate it. That is how to raise character. Then 4, there's need for direction. And that direction you want to give to them, to children, should be value driven. Every parenting decision should be anchored on moral and ethical framework. not on comfort. Moral and ethical framework. Today, morals are undermined, ethics are undermined, personal interests are prioritized, and that is why the world is what it is today. Confusion everywhere, chaos, crisis, war. You get to understand it better as I proceed. So, understand that strategic parenting does not mean that you should control a child's every move or that you act as a dictator to a child. No. What it actually emphasizes is that it means guiding with vision. It means teaching in love and with love, and disciplining with purpose. All these are germane, are important for you to have so as your journey of strategic parenting. Section 2, the importance. Why is strategic parenting important? Why should we be concerned? Why should we give it attention? Why should we care about strategic parenting? To be honest and realistic, the world today, I tell you, is overloaded with so much conflicting information, which are causing confusion everywhere. Plenty dissenting voices, conflicting ideologies, beliefs, practices, values, and all these are causing distractions. As a result, too many young people today who are without moral compass are drifting away from normalcy in droves, from the ideal in their millions, searching for identity. Unfortunately, they seek this identity in popularity, fame, pixels, and the likes. Well, it is in time like this that the value, the importance of strategic parenting is actually understood, because it stands as a lighthouse in a storm. That is, at a time like this when there is confusion, chaos, crisis, strategic parenting with its light gives a house where people can really resource. So strategic parenting is a lighthouse in the storm. Well, why does it matter? Why is it important? I quickly go through with few items here. Number one, it matters because children need anchors, not just access. What is anchor? I give you an example of a ship in the ocean, sea. You see, when the ship is when it beds at the shore, is always pinned down, anchored to the ground, to a pavement. Anyhow, it is anchored, pinned down in order not to be drifted by waves or moved away into the further into the sea. So that is what it means. In spite that the ship is inside the sea, the river, yet the anchor keeps it pinned down, that it does not get drifted. The same thing applies here, that children need anchors, not just access. Not just access to internet. Internet is good. Not just access to education. Education is good. Not just access to comfort. Comfort is good. Not just access to luxury. Luxury is good. But they need inner anchors. And what are these elements of inner anchors? It includes character. It includes integrity. It includes self-discipline. It includes compassion, empathy. And the list goes on. So, all these values don't emerge randomly. Rather, they are usually taught. They are usually modeled or demonstrated. They are reinforced. That is how it happens. So now, point two, under this, why it is important is that the home is the primary leadership school. This is where you cultivate the principle, the tenets, the process of leadership in children. Leadership actually doesn't begin in boardrooms, even though in business we talk about leadership. In the professional setting we talk about leadership, and that one, it's all about the boardrooms. But here, in strategic parenting, it begins at breakfast. What does that imply? How children learn to listen, how children learn to speak, how children learn to take responsibility and make decisions within the family unit. Children can make decisions within family units, they do, and many more. So all this sets the pattern for how they will do so in the world. Point 3 under this, why strategic parenting is important. Society is only as strong as its smallest unit. I said it. Society is only as small as the smallest unit. You see, I tell people that most times we complain about the symptoms. When we see the symptoms, everybody complains. Everybody is dissatisfied. Everybody, raise rhetorics. Whereas the root cause, the cause, is what really matters. So now, the family cell is the family is the cell, unit is the cell of civilization. Civilization begins at home, within the family unit. And the quality of family one belongs to determines what the outcome is. Which means weak families is equal to weak societies. Weak families is equal to weak nations. In plural, families in plural. We bring about weak nations in plural. So what then makes strong societies? What then makes strong nations? Well, only strategic parenting, not just any parenting, strategic parenting, which is nation building in its most personal form. Only it can make the strong individuals, make strong families, make strong communities, make strong nations, and make strong societies. Strategic parenting is nation building in its personal form. You break down the responsibility to the least, to the single individual. So it's personal form, strategic parenting. So everybody has responsibility, from individual to family, to community, to nation, and to the entire world. That is why I say strategic parenting is important. Section 3, the benefits. What are the benefits of strategic parenting? Really, I'll be practical here. That is, practical about what strategic parenting actually does. And I'm going to split it or break it into at least 3 parts. Number 1, I'm going to look at the child, what it does, the benefits for the child, the benefits for the parent, as well as the benefit for the family. So now, for the child, strategic parenting helps the child, or gives the child, or inculcates in the child a stronger identity, sense of stronger identity. That's what it gives any child. That is, children are able to know who they are and what they stand for, regardless of anything that comes their way. Anything that comes their way, whatever comes their way, children take their stand, insisting, emphasizing, and standing on the stronger identity they have. This is who I am. No matter the influences, no matter what it takes or required or it demands, they stand on their stronger identity. So it bequeaths them with sense of stronger identity. That's what children gain. 2, emotional intelligence. Children are able to understand and regulate their emotions as they grow and as things happen around them. That is another thing. Then number 3 is that there's this spirit of resilience that is built in children. That is benefits of strategic parenting. That is, the children are able to face life's challenges with grit and grace. Why? You remember, because of the quality of character they already have, the strong identity. So they're able to be resilient, whatever challenges life brings their way. And finally on that, for the child, is the moral compass. Children that pass through strategic parenting system, actually, they have strong moral character values. And this becomes a compass, something that guides them, something that directs, leads them, that informs, drives. So as a result of that, you see them, there's such children who prefer to choose right over easy. No matter how simple, easy a shortcut might be, they don't want to go through it. They prefer to choose the right procedure. And again, such child prefer truth. They choose truth over trend. It does not matter what is trending. It does not matter the trend. They prefer truth. Now, for the parent, what is the benefit of strategic parenting to parents? Well, they are more confident in decision making. Why? Because their parenting is purposeful. They are not aimless about their parenting. So they know when they take decision, they know they are going somewhere. They already have a focus, a dream, a vision. So it is patterned. Their decision making is patterned according to that vision. They know they will not fail. That is what strategic parenting does. It's not an aimless parenting where somebody can come and distract you. Somebody can come and get you drifted from the path because you are aimless. Your parenting is purposeless. But this one, because you have a compass, a vision in place, then definitely your decision making is top notch, is sound, is proved. So then 2, there's deeper connection for the parent. Strategic parenting affords parents deeper connection with children. Do you get it now? So now, because they are able to have meaningful, effective engagement, that's what it means with children. Not just coasting along, managing and all this kind of engagement, but meaningful, effective engagement. For the parent, another point is legacy fulfillment. They live out the values they intend to pass on, and that gives them the feeling that they are fulfilled. Oh yes, I have transferred. I'm fulfilled. I have a legacy. I have a value that my children have demonstrated and the children can take after. So there's a sense of fulfillment. And now quickly, let's look at the benefits for the family. Now, for the third category of people is the family. It's the benefits of strategic parenting for the family. Number one benefit is that there is trust and harmony in family. This means that there is absence or little occurrence or no occurrence of conflict in the family. How? Well, because strategic parenting fosters a common vision, common direction. So everybody happens to align to that vision, just like what obtains in organization. Organization has a vision, so every department builds, centers, focuses, it shapes its strategies and procedures and plans and everything in a manner that will achieve that common vision of the corporate organization. So in this case, in the family system too, that's how it works. Every member contributes, aligns to that common vision. So no other interest is prioritized above or over. So everybody aligns too. It's a teamwork culture. Teamwork culture is built in the family, in which everybody contributes, everybody learns, there's accountability, and everybody celebrates each other. That is teamwork. They work together to achieve. That's the benefits of strategic parenting. That's what it teaches. And then 3 is that there's healthy conflict resolution. Actually, there's no time, there's not total, conflict will always happen. But what happens is that how it is resolved, resolution. So strategic parenting teaches that disagreement should not destroy. Rather, you should develop dialogue. That is, it should generate dialogue. It should lead to dialogue over the issue. So that is what strategic parenting actually serves as benefits to the family. Section 4, the impact. What is the impact of strategic parenting? Impact of strategic parenting is usually transformative. That is, it causes changes that move or transform bad to good, transform good to better, and better to the best. Now, I'm going to apply this in different ways. I apply it to individual for you to see the transformative impact of strategic parenting. I apply it to family. I apply it to community. Apply it to nation. Apply it to the world as well. So this is how I go about it for better understanding. Now, on the individual now, strategic parenting actually equips individuals with many elements such as self-awareness, courage, purpose, accountability, name it. As a result of this character formation element, such people, certain things are noticeable about them is that such people don't follow crowd. They don't follow the crowd. Why? Because strategic parenting develops them to always have conviction. So because of the sense of conviction they have conviction in everything they do. So because of that, they don't follow the crowd. And another thing is that because strategic parenting also fosters resilience, just as I mentioned earlier. So as a result of that, such people don't break under pressure. Rather, they build under pressure. They turn pressure, they recreate pressure and bring out a positive outcome from it. As a result of that, these signs are what you see. Number one, such people as individual, the transformative impact on them is that they are likely not to be manipulated by toxic influences. Such people will not be manipulated by toxic influences around them. 2, another sign you will notice because of that transformative effect is that they contribute meaningfully to their fields, innovation and the likes, because that is built into them, that common productivity. So they contribute meaningfully to their fields, to their nation, to their community, everything. And another thing finally is that on that point is that they are grounded in identity. Like I've explained before, they are anchored on certain elements, and as a result of that, they are grounded in identity. However, they are still open to growth. B, on the family. Now, what is the impact, transformative impact do we see on the family? Number one, when a family that prioritizes and practices strategic parenting ideology or approach, uses the approach, certainly becomes a training ground where people are trained for life. Do you understand? A training ground is just not somewhere you just pass a passing phase. No, but a real training ground. They are trained for life, in every way sense. Then 2, for the family becomes a community and not just a cohabitation, because in a community you mind the same thing, you do almost the same thing. That is what makes you a community. There is unity of purpose, there is unity in every sense. So there's shared vision. So, but where this does not exist, then what you just have is cohabitation. Yes, you live together, you stay together, everybody still goes his own way, does his own thing, his own version. So that is the way. Then finally on the family, the transformative effect is that there's legacy. Like I said, not just a passing phase. The family becomes a legacy. There's a legacy to protect, there's a legacy to project. So there's legacy to fulfill. That is what it is. Then quickly on that is the effect, the transformative effect of strategic parenting to community. Well, strategic parenting builds individuals who respect boundaries. That is what it is. That is what it does. Strategic parenting raises individuals that value service and individuals that cherish or honor diversity. And how you know this is that you get to see people, you see them volunteer even before they complain about things. They already volunteer before they complain about things. So they are always, number two, problem solvers. They solve problems before they shout. They don't just run to the street or run to the town and say, hey, there's a problem. They feel they should contribute value, so they solve problems. Then three, they lead without lording over others. That is what strategic parenting, that change it brings when it comes to community. Because they are opportunity to lead does not mean they will now lord over others. Rather, they lead. There's difference between leading and lording. So that is what it is. So strong homes actually raise strong communities. Well, as for the nation, what is the transformative effect? Let's imagine a nation where strategic parenting is the ultimate thing. The signs will be seen among the youths, the adults, and everyone. There will be a sense of duty in action. Everybody, the sense of duty, sense of responsibility, responsibleness. Two, they will have a heart for justice, accountability, respect, and the likes. And three, there will be critical thinking, because what that means is that it will bring about innovation. You begin to hear of innovation in science, innovation in arts, innovation in entertainment, name it, innovation everywhere. Then, because strategic parenting fosters sympathy, in that nation, compassion will be an hallmark. They will cherish and nurture and value compassion and demonstrate it too. So such citizens, actually, they build ethical institutions. In nations, such nations build ethical institutions. Such nations, they have responsible economies where strategic parenting holds sway. Ethical institutions are built where you talk of stronger institutions, where you talk of responsible economics. That's what strategic parenting can contribute in terms of transformation, and a compassionate society that cares about welfare, concerned about the pains of its people. So strategic parenting will become a national anthem, a national policy in all ramification. Now, on the world, well, from individual to family to community and to the nation, bring all this together, then it becomes the world. So what you get is you have a world of individuals raised with respect. And when you have respect for one another, how far that can go. When we have a world of individuals with responsibility, sense of responsibility and responsibleness, and you can tell the multiplier effect of that across the world. Then you have a world of individuals with restraint, self-discipline, self-control, and you can tell what that will mean. Should we talk about having less war? Should we talk about less corruption? Should we talk about less conflict or chaos and crisis? These are what the world will enjoy when strategic parenting ideology is in place. So it becomes a world where humanity flourishes, not only economically, but ethically. That's the kind of world we have. A world where humanity flourishes, not just by economic indices, but ethical practices. So that is that. Section 5, the actionables. That is translating strategic parenting ideology approach into actions. That is what we are considering what it looks like in action term. 1, vision-driven discipline. Discipline is actually not punishment. Punishment is about inflicting pains, inflicting injuries, be physical, mental, emotional, name it, financial. So that is it. But discipline actually is about guidance. So you demonstrate this. Demonstrate guidance in your discipline. It must be vision-driven. But discipline must be vision-driven. That's strategic parenting. It's not to cause injury, or that's not the goal. Then also, vision-driven discipline also has the question: what is the long-term lesson I want this person to take from this discipline? So that is what it is. It's not something injurious. It's not something vendetta or name it. Just so you define it. And then also, it's about setting boundaries. That's actionable. You set boundaries. Oh, don't go there. Through rules, policy, whatever. You set boundaries. And it's not to control, actually. but to cultivate maturity, not to bring that person up in maturity. It's not to control lord over the person. Then another point again under that actionable terms is consistent modeling. Consistent modeling, that is, you show example. Children follow examples, they don't follow advice. So if you want to teach them anything, you want them to take after any elements of character building or formation, then what it happens, that is positive ones do, what happens is that you have to live it, you have to demonstrate it. If you want them to be patient in traffic, you also have to be patient in traffic. They must see you do that. So you cannot be hating and abating. You cannot say don't do this but this one is done. You cannot say, you understand. So even in your law, if you are banning something, you ban it outrightly. It's not that you'll be supporting it and you are also, so you are not only. So you must balance it. You must also show, because values are more caught than they are taught. It's not the teaching that matters, but what the people catch you do, what they see you do. So demonstrate it. Another way of expressing this in action is through intentional conversations. Conversation, talk about it. Strategic parenting, that's what it falls. You talk about things, whether it's success, whether it's choices, whether it's decision making, whether it's media, whether it's relationship. You talk, you dialogue, and through dialogue, empowerment comes. Light is shown on details. So that is the actionable aspect. Then shared family values. Shared family values is another thing, a way of putting it in action. Strategic parenting. That is, there are memorable values, there's feasible values in homes. So you need to talk about those positive values, encourage it, you celebrate it, and if you have to correct, let it be based on those values, those cherished values. So, and the values actually are like a family mission statement. You see, it is not like what you see in organization that you just put it on the wall there. Your family value has to be in the heart. You live by it. You live it. It shows that yes, you believe in this, and that is what you live by. So that is that. Then on the final note is the balanced life skills. Everything is balanced. You ensure there's a balance. So those are the ways in everything, in education, in the social values or character or name it, beliefs, everything gets it balanced, and skills also has to there's balanced life skills. So these are all it entails. So that is that on the fifth point, the actionables. Point 6 now. The challenges, obstacles to strategic parenting. What are they? Really, I must let you understand that strategic parenting, number one, is not easy generally, and strategic parenting is actually demanding because it is intentional. So it's very demanding. So as a result of it, there are a lot of things that may discourage, but it is just important that you be focused. It's important that you have a vision. When you have a vision, it becomes easier to manage the challenges that comes with it. So examples of these challenges include, number one, busyness. You see, in these modern time, careers really competing. Deadlines at home, deadlines in office, deadline in church or mosque or any religious activities, deadline here and there. Even devices, they steal away quality time that we should spend in fostering strategic parenting practices and ensuring it. They steal those. So everybody is busy. So that's one challenge. Another challenge is parenting fatigue. Fatigue sets in because this takes emotional toll on parents. Actually, when you are practicing strategic parenting consistently, day in, day out, you want to have meaningful engagement, you want to have productive engagement, effective engagement with children and with everyone. What happens is that it takes its toll on you. So in every sense, physically, emotionally, you get tired, exhausted, combined with other things you're involved or engaged in aside from parenting. You see, these are part of challenges, but the truth, actually, like I said, is that it's better than aimless parenting. Strategic parenting, give it what it takes. It's the benefits far outweighs the consequences, which are the outcomes of aimless parenting. Aimless parenting is harder in the long run. The consequences are harder because the costs include, that is, the outcomes of aimless parenting by default, involves insecurity. And insecurity could be physical, it could be emotional. 2, rebellion. Rebellion could happen because strategic parenting fails, or does not exist. So rebellion happens. There's confusion here and there. Trend over truth. So confusion. So are far greater than the cost of intentional investment in strategic parenting. So these are all our few. You need to know about the challenges, but there are more out there around you. But you just need to stay focused. Yeah, this is section 7, and it is subtitled "The Inclusion." It's actually where you become so important in this whole skill. That is your involvement, your inclusion in this. So I want you to understand first of all that. Let's redefine the meaning of a strategic parent. A strategic parent actually is not limited to having biological connection. Do you understand? Strategic parent does not mean you are biologically the father, mother of any child. No. Strategic parent is someone who guides, someone who leads, who directs, and all those. Then now, a strategic parent could be guardian, could be coach, could be pastor, could be uncle, could be mentors, could be teachers, could be aunts, could be Anybody, every adult, even young children too, can be strategic parents. We have had situations where a child that is raised product of strategic parenting system corrects even an adult that is not raised in that wise. So that becomes a parent, guides such another. So children too are strategic parents because they turn out to be mentor at that point. They turn out to be coaches at that point. They will also be teachers, teaching some things to another. So at that point, they become a strategic parent. Beyond that, beyond human, there's the inorganic, which is institutions. We have institutions too, organizations, statutory organizations that are meant to shape us, shaping us, that are meant to direct us, that are meant to lead us, that are meant to correct us, that are meant to position us, that are meant to raise us, to train us, to teach us, to impart values in us. So this also are strategic parents too. So in all, it's about involvement, it's about inclusion of you as a human and of organizations, of government, be it at any level, state, regional, international, government, and the world at large. So strategic parents are abound everywhere. So that is that. Well, we cannot underestimate the importance of the power of presence in this regard. That's all the emphasis here. And that's why your involvement, your inclusion is key here. Your presence in this whole, because the essence of all this is not just to teach or to get information like this, but rather it's about making impact, being involved, putting it into action. That is what it's about. So, and that's where it matters to you, that you must put it in action. So your presence is important. Your being exemplary is another point. You need to also show it, and then you also need to guide, ensure, put it in practice, guide people, lead people, correct people in love, to be focused and to align. That is it. So, well, like they say, influencers everywhere, every field, influencers. Well, but let me tell you, strategic parenting, I think we need more character. People who shape characters, positive characters, people who will build, who will celebrate, people who will promote, advocate positive character than just being influencers. Do you get? We need more of that, because being an influencer could be in any direction, but we want people strategic parenting who will advocate values, enduring values, non-destructive values, ethical values. So that's, and which leads to character development formation. So that's what this is about. Finally, we are the last section, which is the conclusion. This is, in rounding up, I like to paint a picture or kind of a story. Imagine a child. That child that you see carries what we call a seed. And that seed needs to be developed because it contains some values, some elements, some nutrients. Because within the seed are potentials. And if the seed does not, is not nurtured, developed, the potentials will also, you understand, perish. So it is important to nurture the seed. And like I said earlier, in the immediate previous section, that this is where involvement, your inclusion is key, which means this is a point where you need to set a legacy for yourself. And what will be your legacy? You see, every child carries a seed, and within it is a potential. And this also translate it or apply it to strategic parenting. Is about history is involved, culture is involved, future is involved, impact, yes, is involved. And the only way you can nurture that seed is through strategic parenting ideology. You water that seed with the wisdom of strategic parenting, and you do it in love. And as the art grows, you prune it through discipline. Then it grows and continues to grow. And it grows into a tree. And while that tree fully matures, what happens? That child fully matures, that seed grows into a tree. Get it? That child becomes a fully grown, established, perhaps an iconic individual that gives shade, support, help, and fruits to generations to come. Trust you understand. Therefore, as against what is trending today, subtly, unnoticeably trending, I need to bring to your notice that people today outsource parenting. You don't believe. There is outsourcing of parenting seriously going on today. But this should not be the approach. This should not be. How do people outsource parenting? People outsource parenting to government. They raise children and they abandon it to government. People outsource parenting to communities. Let communities sort it. People outsource parenting to maybe well-to-do people. People outsource parenting. So even, not only human, even organizations too, institutions are supposed to rein us in with policies, with strategies. Organizations that are saddled to shaping us in a particular direction, positive values, to foster certain character elements in us. As a strategic parenting, they outsource it. And so, let's stop outsourcing parenting, because parenting is a sacred task and we have been given, so we must ensure it does not fail. Let us raise, as an organization, strategic parent, as an institution, as human, let us raise with strategy. Let us parent with strategy. Let's not parent by default. Where there is need as an organization for renovation and innovation, let's bring it on. Where there's need for overhauling of the system, let's rejig. Where we have been so inactive or passive, let us awake as an institution, strategic parenting institution. I told you, it's not biological parent, strategic parent. So we don't need to have connection with anybody as an institution. So let's awake, and our society will be better, community will be better. We thank us for it when we do the right thing. So let us parent, not by default. What do I mean by default? I remember one of my teaching and mentoring sessions with some people. One of the contribution later on somebody gave me was that he appreciated the expository teaching then, and then this is the substance of his contribution or statement, remark, that all the while he has taught that what parenting actually means is, well, as you grow, and you reach a point, you become an adult, you have job, just have a woman, produce children, and that's all. And life goes on like that. You just produce. So it's like baby factory, something, system kind of a thing. So, but after the whole thing, he says he understands or understood better. So, racing by default, that's what he thought it to be. So rather, we should be strategic. Let's parent with strategy. Let us parent with the future in mind. Not only that, many people say that a lot, future in mind, but what about the hand? There must be value, we must have value in our hands too. That is the way it gets balanced. Future in mind, values in hand. If we have future in mind and we don't have values, character, orientation in hand, we can't achieve that vision. So, it's high time families build. It's high time to build families that will become beacons. It's high time we build children that will become champions, and to foster homes that will become havens for truth, for grace, for purpose, empathy, good character, because that is the way it will transform with multiply effect to the community, to nation, and the world at large. Well, I need to emphasize strongly here that strategic parenting is not just about raising great kids. It's not just about raising kids in comfort or for comfort, no. But raising kids for good characters. It's not just about raising great kids, but actually it's about raising the kind of humans, not kids now, not children now. This involves both, or applies to both human strategic parents and non-human strategic parents of institutions, to raise the kind of humans that this world desperately needs. Our world needs outcomes of sound strategic parenting system. They need product of quality strategic parenting ideology, approach. That is what our world needs, because there will be less conflict, there will be less war, there will be less economic failure, there will be less, name it, less pain everywhere. That is the kind of parenting we need, and I believe we can. So please set up a legacy for yourself, and have a legacy for yourself, and ensure it's achieved. God bless you. Thank you.